Okay, so good morning all. Uh, Last time we have started this fourth chapter, which is photovoltaic inverter. In that, we understand the concept of the inverter, which is used specifically in a photovoltaic system. So here, in the beginning, we understand that here we are shifting from some conventional approach to some another special approach. Okay, in that special approach, the battery system is eliminated. Okay, and also the transformer in the system is also eliminated, and directly PV system through inverter it is connected to the grid. So most of the time, if you have observed, if you are searching some research papers for your project, then in that you might have read the word which is transformer-less inverters. Okay. So the transformer-less inverter is also is nothing but the photovoltaic inverters. So here we are looking for that how the transformerless inverter is constructed, how it is invented, and what are the different modulation techniques through which it can be driven. What are the different categories, how it can be categorized based on the load voltage, okay, and the operating voltage or the operating power ratings. Okay, so in that we have learned module integrated, then string inverters, multi-string inverters. Okay, so based on the different voltage, current, and power ranges, they are differentiated from each other. Then we learn the basic H bridge. Okay, so which is we are familiar with this bridge type of a topology. It can be used in DC to DC, can also be used for DC to AC. Okay, so the conventional converters, that is, um, as far as the DC to DC is concerned, which we have learned in the third year of the BTech or BE course. In that, we have not used that bridge topology for DC to DC. But if we refer the advanced structures of this DC to DC converter, then in that bridge type of topology is also used there. Okay, and in engineering third year we have learned this bridge only for the inverters. Okay, so we know that. Then in case of a DC to AC converter, we are referring this bridge. Okay, and how this bridge can be operated. For that we have learned the three techniques. Okay, that bipolar modulation, unipolar modulation, and then hybrid modulation. So we have also uh, studied the mode of operations in case of bipolar modulation, in case of unipolar modulation, in case of a hybrid modulation. In bipolar modulation, we have learned this. Okay, we have to understand only the switchings and how the output is generated. So we have seen this here. Here only the two levels of output is produced. Okay, that is plus VPE and minus VPE. And here, after this bipolar modulation, in case of a unipolar modulation, if you see, here there are three levels of output is produced. That is 0, then VP again 0, minus VP and again 0. So in this way, the output is produced here in case of a unipolar modulation, and the switching of this is given here. Okay. So here, while switching this, um, either in bipolar modulation or in unipolar modulation, the high frequency uh, signal is used, okay, which we call as a carrier signals in the PWM, that is in modulation techniques. Okay, with that high frequency, these switches are switched. Okay, so there are two frequencies exist here. One is our grid frequency. Okay, so this AC uh, symbol of this AC source represents the grid. Okay, and that grid can be having a frequency of 50 hertz, or if we refer the grid of other countries, then it would be a 60 hertz. Okay, so 50 hertz, 60 hertz. So this can be referred as the fundamental frequency, or this can also be called as the fundamental frequency. If we refer the another frequency which we are discussing for switching of these switches into this converter or this inverter, then here we are using a high frequency range whose range from 5 kilohertz to 20 kilohertz. Okay, and so two frequencies exist here. So if you see this, it is a interfacing of it means two frequencies are there. So it can also be called as a power frequency. That grid frequency is called as a power frequency, and the frequency which is used to switch the different switches in the inverter, it can also be called as a control frequency. Okay, why? Because by the frequency controlling uh, we are controlling the switches by using this control frequency, and here we are producing the fundamental frequency at the end of this inverter through this switching of this inverter. Okay, so here um, it is depends on us to switch these different switches either with respect to fundamental frequency or with respect to our uh, modulation frequency, that is PWM frequency. So by considering these two frequencies, if we see here the hybrid modulation, here the S1 and S2, here we have two legs. In every leg we have two switches. Okay, so this leg A is switched with the high frequency, that is carrier frequency, and this leg B is switched with the grid frequency, that is fundamental frequency, to produce the output. So that is the reason it is named as a hybrid. And then positive half is also produced, and again negative half is also produced, and zero mm, level is also produced. Okay, so if you observe three of these techniques, in bipolar only two level output is produced, and in unipolar and in hybrid modulation the three levels of output is produced here. Okay, so these are the three different ways. Then H5 inverter. So H5 inverter we have discussed. This is the modification done in the basic bridge inverter which we have discussed here. Okay, this is basic H bridge. Some modification takes place here. One switch is added here. Okay, by the SMA. It is a inverter manufacturing company which manufactures the inverter for the PV systems. Okay, so they add here one switch. They switch the switches. They switch the switches. They produce the output here, and they um, understand through some results at the end of this inverter or through some mathematical modulation also, because they have patented this design which is better than this conventional edge bridge inverter. Okay, so we have also learned this, studied or understand the switching of these switches here. So here, if you see, the positive level and the negative level output is produced, and then zero is also produced there. So it means again three level is output is produced, and in that also we learned that this S5 switch. Okay, so normally in bridge we have four switches, but in addition to that four switches, one more switch is added here, which is S5. Okay, so this switch is switched at for very high frequency, and remaining these four switches are switched at the fundamental frequency. They're diagonally opposite, that is S1, S4, S3, S2. Okay, so here again you see the three levels of output is produced here. Okay, then next is Herrick inverter, which is manufactured by the Sunways company, and again it is PV inverter manufacturing company. Okay, so they also did some modification in basic bridge inverter. So if you observe here the modification, they have done the modification at the AC side. Okay, whereas this H5 inverter did the modification at the DC side. So what the modification or what the change they have done here? They have added the two switches here, which are anti-parallel to each other. Okay, so these switches can be they have patented this by adding the IGBTs here. Okay, in parallel to this grid, and they switch that particular circuit to produce the AC output here, that is plus. They first produce the plus VPV, that is first level, then they produce again 0, then they produce the negative half, and again they produce 0. So if you observe, 0 is common. Okay, doesn't matter this for positive half or for the negative half, but 0 is 0. So 0, then plus VPV, and this minus VPV. So it means again three levels of output is produced here. Hello, somebody's mic is on. Please check. Okay, so again three level of output is produced here. Now we'll see the next one. Here we have left in the last lecture. Okay, so we'll study here from this. Again, there is a modification did in the basic edge bridge inverter by REFU Inverter Company, which is specifically dedicated to manufacture the PV inverter system. Okay, so here, if you see, okay, so here we have this VPV. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute it. It is disturbing. Hello. Okay, so if you see again, this is the modification in basic H bridge inverter. Okay, so if you see again how why we call this as a basic H bridge, or why we call this modification in H bridge, because we have these four switches, that is S1 switch, then S2 switch, S3 switch and S4 switch. So it is the basic structure. So in that basic structure, there is a modification. So instead of the single filter capacitor, they have added the two capacitors in series here. Okay, so this is our PV array system is here. Okay, so this is our DC link. Okay, so this is again boost system our, again this is DC link. Okay, so it is hybrid. Again this is a inverter. Then here again boost bypass system is used here. Again AC bypass system is used here. Okay, so this is the modification. Then filter and then grid. Okay, so if you see here how the modification is done here. So here, instead of this connecting this S3 S4 in series, they have connected this in parallel to this boost system. Okay, and this lower switches is again connected in parallel to this boost system. Okay, and they have added the AC bypass system. Okay, like which system which we have learned, this Herrick inverter. Okay, so in Herrick inverter, if you have observed, these two switches are in series. So instead of these two switches are in series, they change this. Okay, and they have added these switches in parallel to this grid, along with the diodes, anti-parallel diodes in series with that respective switches. Okay, so that the short circuit of this grid is avoided. Okay, so in this way they have modified it. Okay, they have observed the performance through the switching. So we'll see the switching of this. Again, you see this, if suppose our this input is VPV. Okay, and suppose this CPV, these capacitors are of the equal value, so VPV by 2, and again VPV by 2 is divided at this capacitor. Okay, so initially they provide the pulse to S1. Okay, to S1 it is to grid, again it will be close to this first capacitor. Okay, so here, so initially VPV by 2 output is produced here at the end. Then again, they produce the negative half. Okay, so how this negative half is produced here, or which switches they are using here. So if you see again this, now they are using this capacitor. Okay, that is this DC link capacitor, because it is also charging. So they switch the S3. Initially they switch S1. Now they are turning on the S3 switch. Through S3 it will go to the grid. Again it will come back and it will be closed here. Okay, so these are the points of the capacitor which they are using. Okay, so initially it will flow through this. Okay, through this it will come here, then it will flow in this way. Okay, then if you see through this capacitor, it will be closed. Okay, so again some output is produced here, and to produce a zero output, they are using either of these switches. Okay, they are using either of these switches, that is this S plus. So they marked here as a S plus and this S negative. Okay, so here if you see, this is not a negative again, this is again the positive output is produced here. So we can again see, so here VDC output is there. Okay, so VDC is produced here. Okay, and here 0 is produced. So in this way the output for the positive half can be produced. Okay, so we can also draw. So initially suppose we assume initially this switching is there, so 0, then we go for this. Okay, suppose VPV by 2 can be labeled, then VDC. Okay, so in this way the output can be produced for the positive half. Now you see this 1, 2, 3 level again is produced. Okay, now for the negative half, you see here we are using this capacitor. Okay, so through this capacitor, that current is flowing. Okay, so it is flowing through the grid. Okay, again it is flowing through this S2 switch and it is closed here. Okay, so negative half is produced. Again, they are using here. So here the boost operation is used there. Okay, so they are using this capacitor for boosting. Okay, and producing one more level. So it will be produced. I will show in the previous slide only. Okay, and here 0 is produced. So here again this 0, this VPV by 2, this can be VDC, okay, and this VPV by 2 and again 0. So in this way that output can be produced. Okay, so it is very difficult to analyze um, the output of this, okay, by just referring the images or by referring the waveforms at the end. Okay, so for to understand this waveform we have to take the values, design values of this inverter structure into the consideration, and then we have to analyze this. Okay, so we have to analyze by considering the output voltage value. Okay, then what is the pulsating nature in the output. We have to analyze this so mathematically, and then we have to understand. Okay, so right now we are understanding only through the mm, structurally or through the circuit diagram. Okay, so what I'm telling you, it is the evolution in the PV inverter. Okay, so there was a initially basic H bridge, which was driven through three different modulation techniques, that is bipolar, unipolar, and hybrid. Then H5 comes, then by SMA, then Herrick comes by Sunways. Okay, then this REFU comes. So as this topology is evolving, so they are claiming that efficiency of this PV inverter goes on increasing. Okay, so this is the nature. This can be the output is produced there. Okay, now there is again evolution into the basic uh, H bridge. Okay, basic H. So here full wave inverter with DC bypass. Okay, which is manufactured by this Injet company, okay, who manufactures this inverter. So let us understand what modification they have done. So they have added the two capacitors in series. Okay, they have added two capacitors with named as the CPV1 and this CPV2, along with the two switches, that is this, we have these four switches already, then this S5 switch and this S6 switch. Okay, and they have added the two diodes here, okay, in series, and at midpoint of this or the intermediate point of this CPV1 and CPV2 and this D plus and D minus, they have referred here as this as the neutral point. Okay, so here if you see, uh, again this is the PV array system. This capacitor is nothing but filter. Here they have named these switches, that is this S5 and S6. They named here as a DC bypass. Okay, they named here as a DC bypass switches. Okay, and here it is a full bridge inverter. Okay, and then we have filters, that's L, and this is the grid. Okay, so again full wave inverter with DC bypass. So why DC bypass? To produce a zero level output is also important at the end of this inverter. Okay, and to produce the zero level, we have to um, we have to bypass this input DC. Okay, so in earlier topologies, we have connected some system at the AC side and we have bypassed that DC. Okay, so here they are connecting it on the DC side. Okay, and they are bypassing this DC, and that is how the output is produced here. So again, see the switching of this. Okay, so S5 is initially the turn on, then S1 is turn on, then it will come to this grid. From grid, it will come to this S4 and S6. Here the positive half is produced. Or we can say here it is VPV plus VPV is produced. Then now you just see this S5 and this S6 is now turned off. Okay, so whatever is the energy stored into this filter inductors, that will be um, dissipated through this circular paths, okay, into that switches, okay, and again the negative half is produced here, okay. So while producing the negative half, this S3 and this S4 switch, sorry, S3 and S2 switch is turned on, okay, and here they have produced the negative half, that is they have produced minus VPV. Here again they have produced 0 volt, okay, and here also they have produced the 0 voltage. So in this way, again the output is produced here. Okay, so that switching you can understand through this. Okay, the diodes and the switches are turned on there. So here this, as we turn off this S5 and this S6, okay, automatically this DC input DC will be disconnected from the grid. Okay, so we bypass this through the, so whatever is the stored energy that will not come into this DC side, okay, and there will not be any reactive power exchange between this L and this CPV. So that is the reason the efficiency is increased, okay, and because of this turning of this S5 and S6, what happens here, that DC is bypassed, okay, or this that the discharging part of this filtering circuit, it will be done through that two switches or four switches, okay, that is four switches means that is S1, S2, S3, S4, and this freewheeling diodes, okay. So that is how this DC is bypassed and the output is produced. So here in the study, so if you observe, every time I am telling you that switching happens, then VPV is produced, minus VPV is produced, and 0 volt is produced. Okay, in previous topology also I told you VPV plus VPV minus VPV, and then 0 is produced. So here there is a difference happens structurally between this. There are three parameters to be considered. We have to consider. First is uh, the leakage current into the system. Okay, leakage current. Then second is the electromagnetic interference, and third is the reactive power exchange. Okay, reactive power exchange. So this is first leakage current, then here second, and this is third reactive power exchange. So as we are going for the different designs, okay, we are observing this leakage current, this electromagnetic interference, and this reactive power exchange between this filter switch at the AC side and this filter capacitor at the DC side. Okay, so it is, we are minimizing this as we are going for the advanced designs. Okay, so you might have a question, what is the concept of electromagnetic interference? Electromagnetic interference that happens into the grid because of this high switching, okay, and there is a grid frequency, different grid frequency, which is a fundamental frequency. Okay, so there is a possibility that EMI, that is electromagnetic interference, may happen into the grid. Okay, and that can be minimized with the different that can be minimized as we go for the advanced topology. Okay, then how it is minimized? Okay, so uh, uh, that part is not in our here syllabus because it needs mathematical modulation. Okay, or to understand theoretically, we have to go for the simulation results. Okay, in that we can understand. But here we are understanding only the switching, how it happens. Okay, and we are going to minimize this leakage current, to minimize EMI, that is electromagnetic interference, and to minimize the reactive power exchange between this uh, AC filter and with respect to this DC capacitor. Okay, or the filters on the AC side and the filters on the DC side. Okay, so this is the full bridge uh, inverter with DC bypass. Again, we have uh, one more design here. Okay, that is full bridge zero voltage rectifier. Okay, so now here zero voltage rectifier. So what is the concept of this zero voltage rectifier? So if you see the design again, it is again some modification which takes place in basic H bridge inverter. Okay, so what modification? Four switches are there, CPV, CPV2, two capacitors or filter capacitors are there. So if you see here, they have added one more switch here, that is S5. Along with this, they have added the simple diode rectifier here at the AC side. Okay, at the AC side. So why they have added this? Why they have added? Because they have to produce a zero level output at the end of this inverter. Okay, so to produce a zero level, if they add only single switch, that is also enough. But they are using here uh, this diode rectifier is here. That is the reason here it is named as a full bridge zero voltage rectifier. Okay, so how it is produced, that we'll understand in the switching. Okay, so if you see like switching into the previous circuit, the same is again there to produce the plus VPV. Okay, so initially they turn on the two diagonal switches, that is S1, S4. They have turned on this and plus VPV is produced there. Okay, again to see this, to produce a zero level for this positive hub, okay, they are switching this, okay, S5, and this they are taking into the consideration these diodes, okay, and they are producing the zero level at this um, zero level means as the grid is get disconnected, what happens? Grid or this PV system is disconnected from this grid. Obviously, zero voltage comes or zero is produced at the end of this inverter. Okay, so whatever is the stored energy into this inductor filters, they are only simply discharging to this rectifier circuitry. Okay, and here the zero voltage is produced. Now, to again produce a negative hub, they are turning on the two opposite diagonal switches, that is S2 and S3 here. Okay, and current flowing into the now reverse direction. Okay, and here the minus VPV is again produced. Again to produce a zero for this uh, minus VPV, there is a different arrangement here. Okay, so different arrangement through the same circuitry they are producing again here zero. So here if we mark, okay, this diode as a D1, okay, this diode as a D2, okay, and this diode as D3, this diode as D4. So here for this the diode D3 and diode D4 is on. So if you see here the diode D1 and diode DT is on, D2 is on. Okay, here D3 and D4 is on. Okay, so it happens because of this direction of the currents. Okay, it is in the downward direction through the grid, it is in the upward direction of this grid. So in this way it is adjusted there, and 0 volt output is produced at the end of this um, inverter. Okay, again it is observed in this design, okay, whatever is the leakage current flowing into the system, okay, or leakage current, that is again less, again leakage current. Okay, second is the electromagnetic interference which happens here because of the grid frequency and this switching frequency, that is also less here. Okay, and third parameter is the reactive power exchange. That is reactive power exchange happens between this AC filters and this DC filters. Okay, so that is again less. Okay, so that is the reason again efficiency is increased here. So as compared to all these, um, using this full bridge uh, zero voltage rectifier into the PV system will be a more efficient. Okay, other inverters are also efficient, but there is some slightly variation. If suppose this gives the 97% efficiency, Okay, then previous one was maybe a 90 to 93. So in that way, in that range, but all are above 90. Okay, or 85 to this, uh, 97, 98 up to this. Okay, so based on again the cost and all these parameters, we have to use this into the PV applications. Okay, so here there are the different topologies which we have um, studied uh, into the modification into the H bridge. Okay, so how many topologies we have studied here? Okay, how many topologies we have studied? We will list out here. The first, basic H bridge. Okay, so that is fundamental. In that basic H, first we have studied the H5, one more switch is added, which is manufactured by SMA. Then second, we studied the Herrick, which is manufactured by Sunlight. Okay, then third, we have studied, which is REFU inverter. Okay, it is itself is a manufacturing company. Okay, REFU inverter name is also REFU inverter and company name is also REFU inverter. Then we have studied which inverter after REFU, full wave inverter with DC bypass. So full wave inverter with DC bypass. Okay, and then fifth one we have studied the full wave inverter with zero voltage rectifier. Zero voltage rectifier. So if you observe the nature of the output voltage which we have observed in this, the nature of the output voltage is plus VPV, then again 0 and then minus VPV. Okay, so this is the only type of output is produced into the uh, this bridge type of inverters. Okay, so whatever is the modifications, no doubt we are going for the high efficiency as compared to this previous topologies, but the limitation of this basic H bridge is that we produce maximum up to 3 levels of output only. Okay, not more than 3 levels of output, but mm we have also learned the multi-level inverters. Okay, so in multi-level inverter we were producing the 5 level inverters. Okay, then we were also producing 7 levels of output, where we can also produce the 9 levels of output. Okay, and we have also discussed different topologies, that is this diode clarifying capacitor, cascade H bridge inverter. Okay, so if you compare these multi-level inverters with respect to this full bridge or with this basic H bridge inverter, obviously the multi-level inverters will be more efficient as compared to this basic H bridge inverters. Okay, so can we produce the or can we develop the PV inverters by using multi-level inverters? Yes, so we can produce. So for that, one topology we have here in our um, syllabus. Okay, so first in multi-level also we have learned first as a diode clamped inverter. Okay, diode clamped inverter. So in that I have already told you how many switches are into the circuit. Okay, what is the formula for this and all. Then how these input capacitors are connected here. Okay, so we have discussed this. So we have some basic this neutral clamped half bridge we are taking into the consideration. Okay, so we can also increase the number of switches into the circuit based on how much levels of output we want at the output side. Okay, so here we are connecting this grid at the end of this inverter. Again, you just see the intermediate point of this input capacitors we are using here as a neutral. Okay, so that is the reason here it is. So if you see it is grounded, so it is referred as a neutral clamp. The central point is here used to clamp the neutral. Okay, so again here we have to switch this. Okay, we have to turn on the switches and we have to produce the output. Okay, so again this is the topology. Again we are using this for the 3 levels. Okay, but we can also produce it for the more level. But just because we have referred the topologies into the um, H basic full bridge type. We have all this referred for three levels. So also we see this clamp technology, clamp topology for three levels. Okay, so how switching happens here? So you just again see this. So initially we are considering these CPV capacitors. Okay, we are producing the output here. Okay, we are producing the output. So if you see our input voltage is VPV. If our input voltage is VPV, then uh, if the two capacitors are of the same size, then this VPV is divided the same across the two capacitors. That is VPV by 2 and this VPV by 2. Okay, so in this way, this input voltage is divided amongst across these capacitors. Okay, so initially, if you observe the two switches, that is S1 and S2 is turned on. Okay, so this current will flow through this capacitor. It will come to this. It will come to this, and it will flow through this S1, S2. It will flow through this load, that is our grid. Through grid again, it will come to this, and it will close at this point again. So in this way, this VPV by 2 is coming across the grid. Okay, VPV by 2 is coming across the grid, and this much of output is initially produced. Okay, so during this, whatever is the charging of this filter inductor, that will happen here. Okay, so when we are going for the negative half, first we have to discharge this filter. Okay, so how to discharge? For that we have this provision. Okay, so we have to use this freewheeling diodes into the circuit. Okay, so inductor will discharge in this way. It will come to this through this neutral point. It will flow through this. Uh, Current will flow through this diode D plus. Okay, and again to here S2 we are turned on here only, and we provide the discharging for this inductor, and we produce a zero voltage level, or we discharge this inductor. After this again we have to produce the negative half. So for negative half we are using this second capacitor. Okay, so current will flow from this point. Okay, so it will flow through this neutral point line. It will flow through this grid. Again, it will flow through this uh, AC filter, that is inductor. Again, current will flow through this um, two lower switches, that is S3, S4, and through S3, S4, you see here. Okay, it will flow through this, and it will be closed here. Okay, so again this VPV by 2 will appear. So now it is not VPV by 2, it is minus VPV by 2. Okay, why? Because the direction of the current to load is exactly opposite as of this. So that is the reason here it is referred as a minus VPV by 2. Okay, again during this negative half sum, that inductor might get charged. Okay, so again this negative half we have to produce a positive half. So before producing positive half we have to discharge this inductor. So again we have to provide a path. We have to turn on only the S3 switch here. Now you just see S4 is turned off here. It is open. Here it is turned on. Okay, so now D minus will provide a path. Now inductor will discharge in this way. It will come to this S3. Okay, through this S3 it will come to this D minus. Through D minus it will come to this, and it will be closed here. So in this way it again discharges. So after this, again this cycle comes. Again this. Okay, again this, and again this is produced. So it is continuously repeating. Okay, so that is how, again if you see, the of efficiency at the end is again increased. Okay, so this is again the three levels of output is produced. So if you want um, the more level of output, so you have to see, we have to connect the more switches into the circuit, and we have to produce the output. So we have studied the formulas. Okay, so how many switches we need to produce um, the output? How many switches here? If you remember the formulas, okay, we have studied some formulas: 2 into m minus 1, then m minus 1. M is nothing but the level. Okay, so if we want three levels, okay, then put here 3. So 2 into 3 minus 1 means is 2. So we need 4 switches. So here we have 4 switches. Okay, so if we want 5 levels, we have to put here 5, then 5 minus 1, it is 4. So 4, 4, 5 minus 1, 4, 4 into 2, 8. So we have to connect the 4 more switches again here. Okay, 2 switches at this here at this point before A and after A. So in this way, you can add the more switches and you can produce the multi-level output. Okay. Now, how much capacitors we need for 5 levels? So 5 minus 1. So 5 minus 1 means it is again 4 capacitors. So we have to add again 2 more. So if you see this, by using this, we are producing the multi-levels output. Okay, which is again highly efficient. Okay, so the whatever is was the drawback which we had in the basic H bridge inverters, that drawback is eliminated here. Okay, in neutral point, neutral clamped half bridge inverters. Okay, and again output is present. Again, one more company that is Coenergy did some modifications into the neutral point clamp. Okay, like uh, in previous topologies, we had a modification in bridge, basic H bridge. We had a modification. Now this Coenergy did modification in the neutral point clamp inverter and discovered this topology to produce the multi-level output again. So here, if you see, they have added the switches here in series, which are anti-parallel to each other here, and they are using this to produce the output. Okay, so how these two capacitors remains as it is, PV array is as it is. Okay, in neutral clamp there was a 4 switches here. Out of these 4, they kept 2 switches here, and they have connected these 2 switches at this neutral point path. Okay, now let us see how they have produced the output. Okay, so here if you see, by using this CPV, by using this CPV1, VPV by 2, and this initially they turn on the S1. Okay, through S1 it will flow through this grid, and through grid it will be this source here. Okay, so VPV by 2 is produced here. Okay, now during this again this inductor filter is charged. Okay, now to discharge this again they provide a path. Okay, so how they provide a path here? So if you see here, they have turned on this S plus switch. Okay, so here S plus is turned on, only S plus is turned on. Okay, and this D plus is on. Okay, by default it is on. By because this inductor is charged, so it will current will flow. The D plus is forward bias. So current through this D plus it will flow through this S plus, and through this path that will be inductor filter will discharge. Okay. Now to produce a negative half again, this PV2 is taken into the circuit. Okay, and current will be in the opposite direction through this grid. Okay, and negative half is produced. So for that, the S2 switch is on here. Okay, so current will flow through this in this way. Okay, through S2 through this grid. Okay, sorry, through this in this way, not this. Not this. It will flow in the reverse way, and through this inductor, it will be closed here. Okay, it will be closed here. Okay, negative half is produced. Again, during the negative half, this L is charged to some level. Okay, so for that L, again, now this S minus is turned on, S plus is turned off here. Okay, and during negative half, D minus is by default turn on, because it gets forward biased. Okay, in this way, and current through this D minus, it will flow through this S minus, and will be through this again. It is zero level is produced here. It also zero level is produced, and after this likewise, again, if we want the more levels of output, we can modify these circuits. Okay, so this is the way the output is produced into this co-energy neutral point clamped inverter topology. So that is how the output is produced. Okay. So again, we can produce the multi-level outputs by using this co-energy NPC inverter structure or topology. Okay, again, there can be some different mathematical formulation which was is not here given. Okay, but definitely we can produce this. After this, so whatever we have discussed, that discussed we only for the single phase outputs. Okay, so can we use this for three phase levels? So we can use this also for three phase levels. Okay, so three phase multi-level output is actually the every phase is producing some multi-levels output. As we take these three levels, three phases, okay, or the three multi-level outputs, which is differentiated by the 120-degree phase difference, that will be treated as a three-phase PV inverter. Okay, so again, for understanding the simple single phase is represented here. So we have to take such three systems together and we have to produce, or we can call this as a three-phase PV inverter. Again, it is a simple system. PV inverter is there, filter circuit is there, concept is same. Okay, so boost without transformer, and again it is increased and output will be produced. Okay, so this is the topology for three phase. Two more we have to take here. Okay, so after this, so if we understand this for single phase, the same concept is there for three phase. There is no any difference. Okay, in previous topologies, some modifications was shown there into the basic edge bridge, okay, and then neutral point clamped inverters. For three phase, here they have referred the bridge topology or full bridge inverters, okay, not the NPC inverters. After this, the important is here in every topology, whichever topology you refer, it can be full bridge inverter, it can be NPC topology. In every structure, there is a common, which is a control structure. Okay, and in control structure, we have this structure control over these basic functions, that is grid connected converters. Okay, so here we are taking the grid voltage and grid current. We are considering the grid, sorry, here the PV voltage and PV current, and also we are considering the grid voltage and grid current. Okay, and here we have some control blocks. Through that control block, we are adjusting this parameter through some gains, and again we are feeding back to the server system and we are running the system. Okay, second control is from the PV specific functions, okay, from the panels. In that PV, we are using this MPPT, okay, that is my maximum power point tracking, anti-islanding protections, okay, which is for the moving PV panels, okay, and that monitoring plants. Okay, we have to monitor the outputs or the what we can say the performance of the PV panels in terms of the voltage, current, and power. Okay, so that is monitoring system. And third one is this uh, ancillary functions. Ancillary functions means here we have the filters into the circuit for reactive power compensation and all this. So here we have active filter controllers, okay, grid support system, and this microgrid. Okay, so these three functions are present in every system. If you take the basic full bridge inverter, or if you take the NPC inverters, in every this inverter structure, we have these three control functions are there. Okay, so first control function is grid connected inverters. Grid connected inverters. that is this grid connected inverters. Second control is from the PV specific function. So in PV specific function, we are using this MPPT and this anti-sliding protection, okay, and this PV monitoring system. And last control is the ancillary functions. Okay, ancillary functions means here we have some filter circuit, we have inductor, we have capacitors. Okay, react for the reactive power compensation into the grid. Okay, and whatever is the supporting system required for grid, it can be a switch gear system and all that is also included into this ancillary function. Okay, so that control diagram is given there that present in every of this inverter, that is full bridge or NPC. Okay, so this is about uh, this entire chapter. Okay, so this fourth chapter we have finished. In this chapter, there is nothing is a mathematical modulation. There is nothing is the simulation part. Okay, there is no any input output voltage equations. Okay, here is only we have to understand the switchings and their output, nature of the output. Okay, so this is what about the PV system. So at the end, in nutshell, we have to remember this. Okay, in PV inverter, that PV inverter system or photovoltaic inverter system, it is a transformer-less inverter system. It is a transformer-less system. There is no any transformer. These PV inverters are specially designed. These PV inverters are not like drive inverters, okay, which are used into the drive system. Okay, the operation and the functionality and the switching of this uh, PV inverters is little complex as compared to the inverters which are used into the drive applications or in any industry application. Okay, and in PV inverter there are two topologies are used. One is full bridge inverter, second is a neutral point clamping. In full bridge there are five topologies, sub topologies, and in some in that five topologies we have the different switchings. Okay, they have the different switching and the nature of the output is again same. Okay, only the difference as we are evolving these topologies, we are minimizing the leakage current into the system, we are minimizing the electromagnetic interference, and we are minimizing the reactive power exchange between the AC side filter and DC side filter. Okay, and in addition to increase the efficiency, we are using the neutral point clamp topologies. Okay, and by using this NPC, there are again two subtopologies. Okay, which is that co-energy and the basic uh, neutral point half bridge topology. Okay, that by using this, again we are producing the um output, which is the multi-level output, which was not into the full bridge inverters output. Okay, so drawback of that full bridge inverters was eliminated into the basic neutral clamped inverters. Okay, so this is about this topic. Okay, so this topic is finished here. There is nothing to understand. I will share the notes and PPTs of this with you. You will also see there is nothing with mathematical and all this. Okay. So if you want to ask from this, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop here. Yes, anything? Okay, then we'll stop here. Thank you. Thank you all.